Hello and welcome to this brand new episode of Editors Roundtable. This is the place where the editors of Oneindia come and talk to you, express their opinion, and also bring you the lowdown of the whole week. What transpired through the week, what dominated the week, and what are the stories, what are the developments that are likely to dominate the proceedings next week. And as I say next week, that means the second week of the all important Olympic Games that is happening in France. Avinash Sharma is there, editor of Mike Hale. Avinash, the Olympics opening ceremony, that was something that people thought it might be flash in the pan, but with the controversy surrounding the Algerian boxer Khalif, very recent one, it's making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and I mean, I was initially Pankaj, even I didn't give that much of attention to that news. I just saw it flashing, and we
Mm,
carried a story, and we thought that okay, we are done with it. But uh, a couple of hours later, who's who of social media, the likes of Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling of all people,
mm,
started a very pertinent debate as to the gender parity and the gender test. Although it is not it should not come as a surprise that to even to the Italian boxer that she knew before the hand against whom is she going to compete with, because it was quite clear from the IOC side that these are the ties or the bouts that are going to happen in due course of time, and it was quite evident that the Algerian boxer is going to be pitted against her. And had there been concerns, she could have raised the issue before the match had even begun. She could have pulled out. But yes, uh, coming into the ring and getting punched and withdrawing within 45, 46 odd seconds.
mhm,
Actually, I mean, I think it was a well planned move from the Italian side as well, because in a way, it gave them an opportunity to showcase it to the wider audience. It it just struck at the right time. The hammer was struck at the right point and the right time, all I can say, because
mhm.
IOC and IOC again came a very lengthy clarification that they have done nothing wrong in bringing that athlete into the pool, and that's how the entire draw just pans out. So yes, a lot is happening, but we have, as sports journalists, have seen these things happening quite a lot. The
Right.
the testosterone levels are generally high in some very prominent athletes as well. If we talk about India, Duti Chand has been at the forefront of it, and she has had faced bans,
Similar, yeah.
and Caster Semenya. Let's not just forget about the legendary South
Similar.
African athlete. She
Mm,
has been one of the biggest proponents of gender parity. And what if she has a slightly higher testosterone levels than the rest of the female athletes? That doesn't deny her all the rights of a female athlete that she has. And eventually the IOC had to just bow down to her plea and rule out in her favor, and then she went on competing at the highest level, even at the Olympics. So
mhm,
things like this definitely happen, and because it's a big stage like an Olympic, I
mm.
think it has been blown out of a proportion as well. uh, and it just gave some people fodder to just latch onto it and get some uh,
Right.
coverage as well.
So, Avinash, correct me if I'm wrong. There is obviously the International Olympics Committee, the IOC, and then you have other countries' own Olympic committees that are there who obviously
Yeah.
go through all the procedure and then send. What options is the IOC left with, or what options is the Olympics Committee? I mean, on general, the organizers are left with when a situation like this happens. I mean, this is completely media circus going on out there. Social
Yes.
media is also rambling on. How does one handle this situation?
We'll have to wait and see whether or not IOC takes any special attention, gives any special attention to this particular case, because they've made their stance pretty clear that whatever grounds or they had granted the said athlete the right to compete at the tournament, they will not
Mm,
deny her the right to compete or forfeit herself or withdraw from the tournament. She has already qualified for the next stages. She might compete in the
Mm-hmm.
next round as well. So that's pretty clear from IOC's side. Now it's up to the countries associations to take it to some other level, go to some other court, raise it there, create some more publicity and hype about it. But I doubt if this IOC is going to uh, play
Mm-hmm.
or given to the social media barrage or
Right.
demand that is happening. They must have known it from the day one that if we are doing certain something like this, it might backfire or something like that might happen in the when athletes will compete in the ring. So I doubt IOC is going to pay much attention to
Right.
this or
Abs-
whatever is happening.
Absolutely. Social media czars, by the way, have
Yeah.
responded to it, but not. I don't think if I've seen any sports person
No,
reacting
they
to it.
won't, and they know because I mean, if it's a very fine line as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you draw a line saying
Mm-hmm.
the testosterone levels have to be this much, then the likes of Kester Semenias, the Duty Chans, or even others, they will also get offended. And what wrong have they done if there is a slightly higher testosterone level? The set athlete that we are talking about, it's being said. I mean, the way people are talking on social media, the social media czars that you just mentioned about, they've
Mm-hmm.
been terming her as male. That a year back or a couple of years back, she was a male. I don't have any information whether she had gone through a gender or sex conversion
Mm-hmm.
or not. But we should just because she has a heightened level of uh, testosterone. Although if you look at her generally you get a sense that yes, she looks like I mean her overall uh,
Appearance.
appearance is
Mm-hmm.
looks slightly on the male side, but so have been several other athletes as well. If an athlete grows a mustache, are we going to label uh, her as a male?
As a male. Yes, you're right. I mean, I'm sure all these checks and balances and rigorous tests are being done, including the dope tests and everything
Yeah.
before the bout and also before
Another,
qualification.
just to stop, I saw
Mm,
one of the videos where it was a female athletes competition. I think it was a volleyball where
mm,
one of the athletes, I think she was from Latin America, she just lifted her teammate up above her head and to just catch the ball. That is, and that shows the amount of strength an athlete, a female athlete, has. So, what difference does it make? I mean, she's in the same weight categories are defined. Everything else is
mm,
defined, and
mm,
yes, body strength, muscular strength of a body can differ from person to person as well.
mm,
Checks and balances are
right,
always being placed. Also, one of the biggest reasons for this, if it at all it is a lapse on the IOC's end, is that the International Boxing Federation, the IBA, is suspended. The IOC does not recognize because it has some financial irregularities charges from the
right.
IOC side. A lot of the IPA members and the president and the entire governing body is being ruled by the Ukrainians, the Russians, and the Belarusians. That is one of the
Mm,
reasons for it to get uh, uh, banned in or suspended by the IOC as well. So it's not just a very simple thing that is happening. It's a
right,
very complicated thing, and it has been going as long
right.
as this the war between Ukraine and Russia started.
Absolutely. Avinash, stay with us. There is something that is also growing up alongside the Olympics, the war of gender here. There is another war brewing in Middle East, and Nagin Singh, head of original content, joins us. Nagin, we have heard and we have seen how Iran is preparing for a retaliatory attack on Israel, given in the backdrop of Ismail Haniyeh's death. What are you picking up, and where does this leave the rest of the world?
Thank you for having me, Pankaj. Well, the latest as we speak, Ismail Haniyeh's last rites are being conducted in
Okay.
Doha, and millions of people have joined in on the streets. And it talks about the kind of intensity that we are going to see from Iran. Yesterday there was a procession that was the procession was in Iran, and in that we didn't see even a single IRGC commando or commander or the top officials. So what we have been hearing from our sources that there is going to be an attack that is going to be there on Israel. What happened in April, we do know when Operation True Promise was launched by Iran.
Mm.
At this time, what is serious is that is Iran is still going to use their three H's? Are they going to still use Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah,
Hezbollah. Mm.
or are they directly going to attack? So this will be the biggest question, that if they are going to attack directly, how much will be the impact? If it is something like the last time that they are attacking it for the sake of it and there is no harm
14th
to
of
Israel,
April, yes.
then again, of course, Israel will attack and it is going to continue. However, if Iran takes a bigger action, then things might change. And we are still waiting, I think, after the entire procession and the last rites are completed, the funerals are done, because we
Mhm.
already know that Mohammed Daif, he has also been killed.
Yes.
Now we are getting a very latest update that the
Mm.
Al Qasim Brigade, which is the violent wing of the military wing of Hamas, and the commander who was taking care of all the equipment and arms and ammunitions, IDF is saying that they have killed him as well. So IDF is
Right.
on an assassination spree at the moment. They have been killing top military commanders of Hezbollah as well. They attacked in Beirut, and even US started attacking in Baghdad, saying that these were defense measures. However,
Mhm.
we do know that US forces are there, at least 2,000 to 3,000 US forces are there. Troops are there in Middle East. How they are being activated, we have to see. We do know that India has cancelled their flights for Israel. So there are no
Mhm.
flights from Israel for now. And of course, all these cautions have been taken by different countries. All countries are saying that we have to be cautious about it. They have been telling their citizens to please leave Lebanon and Israel. And Iran's action is something that we are waiting for. It can be any moment, it can be tomorrow. And as we know that we have been speaking about one of the predictions that August
I was
4th is
about to
the
come to
date
that.
when we might
Nostradamus.
see World War III. However, what I believe that we are already in World War III, it is just that the extent of it might increase. We know that more than 3 lakh people have already been killed in Russia-Ukraine war. In this
Mm.
war in Middle East, we have already lost more than 40,000 people, that too only in Gaza and Palestine. We know that we have many civilians who have died in Israel as well. Many IDF soldiers have died, but IDF never comes out with the the report which tells the real number. There have always been doubts about the real number of IDF forces that have been killed. But
Mhm.
the biggest the fear that we have, that if Iran takes a bigger action than just asking Hezbollah and Houthis and Hamas to fight the war, then
Mm.
there could be something much bigger than what we are seeing, and it can be very, very dangerous. Because if Russia and China, they stand for Iran, and US has already said, Biden already made the comment that we are ready for the all-out war. We will support, we will defend Israel, whatever happens. It's a big statement. It means that Israel, they want stop Israel to attack Iran. So now we are
Right.
waiting how Iran reacts to these killings of Hamas members and Hezbollah members, the top commanders.
Absolutely. And I mean, all this just before the attack, Benjamin Netanyahu's trip to the United States, people are pinning this attack to a tacit backing by the United States. Let's see. Let's see how things happen and how things transpire here. Stay with us. And again, Keshav Karni is also there with us, editor of One India Hindi. Keshav, another sort of storm is brewing up in India as we speak. Quota within quota, all these morning headlines today, newspapers had the same headline about the provision of a quota within the quota. Where does it leaves the scheduled castes, CSTs, and how do you think it panning out across India?
Thank you, Pankaj. See, let us think in a different sphere.
Hmm.
See, anytime when a legislation is passed or a rule is explained, it is always done with good intention. But
Hmm.
how it is going to be implemented and what are going to be the implication of it is completely different from the idea of legislation.
Hmm.
Okay, this verdict from Supreme Court is not equivocal.
Okay.
The,
Okay.
the constitutional bench of 7 judges, they passed this verdict with 6-1.
Right.
The, the only judge on the bench, Justice Bela Trivedi,
Hmm.
what she has written is very noteworthy. Okay,
Right.
she's
Please.
saying that first, this quota within quota is a kind of encroachment in the presidential list
Hmm.
of the scheduled caste,
Right.
which, which is actually and practically signed off by the President of India.
Hmm.
So the state governments have no right to encroach into that. And based
Okay.
on this very point only, in 2004, Chinaya versus Andhra Pradesh government, the verdict was made in the Supreme Court itself. Now the Supreme Court has turned its own old verdict. What does that mean? She clearly underlines that this quota within quota is going to give a tool to the political party to appease their vote bank.
Okay. Okay. So the states can use it in a different light altogether.
Yes, and I'll give you an example also. Way
Hmm.
back in 2010, the government in Bihar, led by Nitish Kumar, has created, a different sect among the Dalits, or so-called Dalit or social, SC.
Hmm.
They named it Mahadalit. So previously in the Dalit community, the SC list in Bihar, there used to be 22 castes and community. Just to create a separate vote bank or divide or snatch Ram Vilas Paswan's vote bank, Nitish
Hmm.
Kumar left the Dusad community out from Mahadalit, and rest of it, 21 communities, with 21 communities, he created a Mahadalit community. Not only Mahadalit community, he formed a Mahadalit commission also. Okay,
Right.
and that impacted, that fructified in Nitish Kumar Pet Vote Bank,
Right.
and in 2010 victory, this Mahadalit community had played a huge role. So the intention of this verdict is to, pass on the benefit of the reservations to the lowest level might be hampered.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
the political class, how clever they are in interpreting things, or manipulating things in their favor. It can happen.
Right.
And on that particular, that very ground, you see none of the mainstream political party has come out and has spoke anything about it, be it BJP, the Congress, RJD, or anyone. The only person who is very vocal about it is
Siddharth.
Chandrasekhar of the Bhim Army.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm. Okay.
thank
Uh,
you.
Keshav, you come from Bihar. You have spent a lot of time. You have lived for a long time in Karnataka. How, if you may very quickly tell our viewers, how this could be a different case altogether in Karnataka politics?
No, actually, this verdict can pave a way
Hmm.
everywhere, not only in Karnataka. Karnataka, the whirlwind driven by Siddharamaiah is now, taking places.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So this thing will open an avenue, and Siddharamaiah's stand will, be even more aggressive.
Hmm.
I see. So there, in coming time, we are going to see lot many fractions are being created, and as I said in my previous comment, previous
Hmm.
term,
Hmm.
this is going to be, you know, used as more as a political tool, than as an intention to help the downtrodden.
Right.
It
Right.
is completely a political tool, political decision. It
Right.
can be.
Gentlemen, I think on this note, we should say goodbye to each other, but only to meet next week. And as I have this feeling, as Nagin just mentioned, the premonitions, the forecast made by Nostradamus, Nagin, if I'm not wrong, that 4th of August is the time when World War III would begin. We are just 2 days short of it. We'll have to see what happens. And as Nagin
Well,
said, it has already started.
I'm just having goosebumps thinking that there is going to be a bigger war. We
But
have been
again, I
facing a
also have
kind
a
of war
question.
that is,
I
you
just
know, people have
Nagin, I have
died, people are dying, but, it is more like people just want to see what is happening. And, but we have
Right.
forgotten the number of people who are dying every day. And you also we should understand that the media also hasn't been able to show what exactly is happening in the war, because these visuals are so heart wrenching that even YouTube would not allow you to show the blood everywhere or the way the children are dying. So it's a
And more
much
than
bigger
that,
concern.
Keshav, I know you wanted to make a point, but
yeah,
again,
yeah.
more than that, uh, uh, you know, uh, any side of any story has three sides: your side, my side, and the real side, the real story. So, whether media is able to show all three sides or not, that is also very important because wars don't happen overnight. There is always something that is happening in each other's backyard. Keshav, you wanted to make a
So
point.
no, yeah, yeah, of course. So Nagan actually is following external affairs very closely. So I
Mhm.
just wanted to, know his take on particularly India-Israel ties amid the tension raking up in the Middle East.
I think it is more about the opportunity to sell your weapons. US is the biggest player in this. They have elections going on. It is one of the biggest issues for USA and for the citizens. They are not liking this war. They are tired of it, and US has been spending so much of money. They have been giving so much of money. So it will all clear, I think,
Mm.
after November, after the elections. But for now, there could be some strikes, not the bigger war that we are talking of. Let's see if Donald Trump becomes the president in USA. We have been criticizing, being the journalist, we have been criticizing Donald Trump for many actions, but we should also see how he brought the Abraham Accord, which could not be possible even in the time of Obama. So
Yeah.
he's someone who can, show us a completely different picture if he
Well,
becomes the
again,
president.
there is a saying shot in the arm, then there is a saying ear shot also. Maybe.
Even Israeli
Yes.
athletes are having a lot of security in and around the Olympic Village. I mean, they have been given special security apparatus. I mean, they
Well,
are
mind you,
given the,
Israelis and when there was Olympics in Germany, they went
Hmm.
there, and you know what Mossad
Munich.
is.
Yeah,
So I hope nothing like that happens, because we know the kind of tension Israelis are seeing in Paris. Of course, the Palestinians as well and the Muslim communities as well. So tough
I mean,
times if any matches between Israeli or Palestinian players, or even from any of the Middle Eastern
yeah.
country, or like Syria or Iran, and there is Israeli player, it must be, a delight to watch. Only on the ground, we don't want to see the war.
right. Avinash, and on Olympics, I think Manu Bhaker is heading for her third uh, uh, claim to the title, to winning a
Yes.
medal.
Yeah,
25-meter
in
pistol.
25-meter pistol event,
Mm.
she has, I think she must have qualified by now, because when we started this
She has
communication, she
qualified.
was,
She
yeah,
has. She has.
she
Yeah.
has.
Mm.
So one more medal we can expect from her. In fact, well, one of the worst days for Indian athletes was yesterday, when some of our medal hopefuls, like Nikat Zareen, the boxer, the two-time world champion, PV Sindhu, two-time medalist at the Olympics. Uh, she suffered a defeat, and the world number one men's doubles badminton duo of Satvik Sairaj, Janki Reddy, and Chirag Shetty, they also crashed out. So it was a mixed bag day for India, but it was a more of a heartbreaks than the good news that came from Paris yesterday, as Swapnil Kusale won India's third bronze medal, and all three have come in shooting.
Right, absolutely shooting the bullseye there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time on this Friday evening. I wish you very best for the weekend, and also we look forward to see you analyzing the events that unfold in the coming week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss out. Follow One India for real-time updates.